Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're sitting watching this in the world. It has been a long time, at least a few months, since I last did a video update. And as you guys know, video is one of my favorite mediums for recording, sharing knowledge, insights. And I thought I'd just take this opportunity to give you an update of what's been going on in my world. I know that some of you have probably seen, especially if you're on my mailing list, a lot of collaborations that I've been doing, a lot of summit talks that I've been doing over the last few months. And just to begin, I guess a lot of you may or may not know, and I want to move you closer. As some of you may or may not know, February 2023, I was working as a financial coach in-house for a fintech company. Now, I've been a coach for almost a decade now. Some of you may know that I was made redundant from a corporate job working in Dubai. And I basically sacked in the corporate life to live out my best dreams and decided that I wanted to go diving, which led me on a whole trajectory of becoming a dive master, taking a 3-year sabbatical, which I am so, so grateful for being able to achieve. And one of the things that I've been reflecting on in the last few days is really my journey of how I got to this point. And one thing I've learned about myself, and perhaps I wish I knew sooner, was that I have a great ability to transform my life very, very quickly, very quickly. So, where some people might be stuck in a place where you know you want to achieve financial freedom, but you're not even sure what that version of financial freedom looks like, I totally get it because I have been there myself. And I only really realized what financial freedom was when I actually had it. And sometimes we think it's about a number, right? Sometimes, and I see so much jargon, so much noise online about you need to be earning 10K months, you need to be earning 20K months, 30K months, 100K months. Now, yes, there is a place for earning more money. And of course, we would all love to earn more money. Who doesn't want to earn more money, right? The challenge with that is when we're coming from a place of wanting to earn more, we're actually being driven by this feeling of scarcity that we don't have enough right now, in the moment, right now. And that's something I really wish that I knew before. And I kind of did know it, but now I see it in a different light, in the sense that I was earning very good money when I was working in Dubai, but I knew that I wasn't fulfilled in what I was doing. And so, therefore, it doesn't matter how much money you're making, freedom is about living your life in a way that feels aligned. And when I say aligned, I mean things feel easy. You're having better relationships with your friends, your family, the people around you. You're attracting people in your business that are aligned to what your values are and what you want to achieve. It means being able to go on holiday and take that holiday when you really want it, to do renovations on your house or your apartment when you really want to, or buy the new car, or help your kids through their education or family planning, right? All of those things. Money is the vehicle that allows us to do that. But behind the scenes, what often I see is people are driving after a certain number. So people are in this race to get to a certain number, the magic number. We want to earn 100K months and make our millions. Amazing. The challenge with that is if you're currently at 5K months, 10K months, 15K months, which is often where my clients come to me for coaching, is that if you don't have a a financial system in place to help you manage that money in a way that's going to help you build wealth on autopilot, it doesn't matter how much you earn, because behind the scenes, whatever's going on for you, whether you're second guessing yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I charging the right amount? I really want to do house renovations, and so I'm going to draw on some debt. Or the complete opposite of that, and fear that there's never enough. And so you're always saving that money, but never reinvesting it into anything. Your money is not working expansively for you. And so, this idea of creating abundance, and excuse me, because I do have my tea here. As you know, I love my tea. But when we talk about abundance, abundance is really an overflow. It's an overflow, not just of money, but of gorgeous relationships and connections and network and an abundance of freedom to be able to go, do you know what? I don't want to work on a Friday, or, I want to finish work at 3:20 so I can go and pick my kids up from school and not have to worry about anything. Or if you're not in a relationship, it might just be the faith and knowing that your right person is on your way to you, that you have everything you need right now to succeed in your life and be successful in your own version of success. Right. So I posted on LinkedIn the other day talking about success. And someone popped up going, well, it depends what your version of success is. And that is very much true. That's why I call myself a coach, because real coaching is about understanding your uniqueness and what it is that you want to achieve, not setting out this framework of X number K months, because everyone's life looks different, right? Behind the scenes, you might have debts that you need to pay off. And so you think that you need 30K months. But actually, when you realize that 30K months, or let's say 300,000 a year, actually translates to 25K months, and you realize that when you're at £300,000 a year, you're actually paying 50% tax, and you're paying corporation tax, and you're paying VAT, right? The leap from 5,000 to £25,000 a month is not just about the monetary value, but it's about the responsibility and the power that we hold to ourselves to become the person that can be financially responsible and manage that money, right? We don't want to be stuck in fear that HMRC or whatever country you're in is going to come after you because you haven't paid your taxes. Now, look, financial freedom is not just about the taxes that we pay, they are an inevitability within the system that we all operate in on a day-to-day basis. That's what makes the world go round. Money makes the world go round. Love also makes the world go round, right? Love makes the money go round. Yeah, that could be something as well, but money makes the world go round, right? And love does as well. But if we don't understand how our money is being used to help us be elevated and live through our best lives, then we are not attracting that money into our life in alignment. And that is why I often speak to people who have been manifesting, sitting, manifesting, dreaming, I'm becoming this person, this money is coming to me, flow is here. But then they open their eyes and the money's not there. Or you find that the money comes to you in the moment, but it's not sustained. And so when we're chasing after a certain number, what can often happen at the very beginning of the process of up leveling is that we attract maybe one or two clients, or we sell a couple of products or services, but then the consistency isn't there to back it up. And that is because we are operating, or you might be operating from a place of inspired action rather than motivation. So, what's the difference? Inspired action is when you see something externally that gives you the drive to then take action. Motivation comes from within. It's when we are so aligned in what we want to achieve and what our version of financial freedom is that we do it off our own back, right? And when that happens, we don't need to be investing in all the funnels and the systems and the clicks and the likes and whatever, because on a foundational energetic level, you are going to be attracting people who are aligned with that energy. And if I've learned anything in this past year, is that I put so much into my business in the first year, creating a website and creating a funnel and creating online programs and doing all of the things, going on podcasts and talking at summits and winning awards and all this amazing stuff. But actually, what happened was my clients didn't come to me directly through the channels that I was putting out, right? They were showing up for me in other ways. And that is essentially what happens when we are aligned. Things feel easy, we enjoy the work we're doing, and opportunities show up to us in ways that we never even imagined, in ways that we never even conceived before, because we weren't at that energetic level to see how that was going to come through for us. So, the first step to creating financial freedom is the awareness around what it is you actually want. And I know if you're watching this, you're going, Sarah, I know what I want. I know what I really want. I just want more money. I just want to work where I want, when I want. That's great, but it's not specific enough. It's not specific enough. So you need to get really clear on what that exactly looks like, what that future version of yourself on a day-to-day basis is doing. And you can do some visualizations around this. I have some visualization exercises around this. If you want them, feel free to contact me. But there is a lack of clarity around what people want. And I think that is because people are very, very lost. And we doom scroll and we go on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and we're like, wow, all these people are like living their best life and doing the most amazing things with their life. But first of all, you don't know what's going on with them. And secondly, it's okay to copycat at the beginning of your journey. But there comes a point where you need to listen to your inner voice and what your fullest potential actually looks like, because that is going to look very different for everyone. It's going to look very different for everyone. So you need to get really clear on your vision, first of all. That is the first step to awareness. Now, when you're at the point where you've got this vision locked in and you know exactly what you want, and I want you to take away from this and write down on a piece of paper what your life is going to look like next year, December 2025. What would you have achieved in that year? What would you have done in that year? What would your life look like? What would you be doing? What would your family be doing? What would you be doing on a day-to-day basis? What places would you have been? And I know there's a lot around vision boarding, and vision boarding is great. Do a vision board and then put a monetary value next to all the things that you want and how much that's actually going to cost. Now, for some people, that might be scary because you might look at that and go, actually, I need £1 million to do what I want. That's true. That might be the case. And I would say to that, on top of that, if you need 100 grand in your bank account, right, after tax, after corporation tax, after VAT, after all of your expenses, right? Let's say you want to buy a car that's 50 grand and you want to take 2 holidays that are 20 grand each, right? You're going to need to earn 4 times that. And then we can start getting realistic with what is required to get there. And there will come a point where you feel like, I have been on this treadmill for so long. That's how I felt. That is exactly how I felt when I left my corporate job. I've been on this treadmill for so freaking long, and I'm just not enjoying my life. Like, life was made for living. If you want to, for me, I went on a liverboard in Komodo National Park in Indonesia. For those of you that may not know, Komodo Komodo dragons are an animal that are native to Komodo National Park, and you can't see them anywhere else in the world. But the diving is renowned there. It's some of the best scuba diving in the world. And as those of you who know me, you'll know that I am passionate about conservation. And one of the things that I love about that is that when I go on a liverboard on a boat in the back end arse of nowhere, where like there's probably like five other people diving and like a few little dive boats and a few fishermen, right? There's no Wi-Fi. You have to completely check out. You have to check out of everything. And that really gives you time and space to pause, to think, to reflect. And look, I came on today to give you a rundown of what's been going on in the last year. But as always, I want to help you. And that's why this conversation has probably turned into me telling you about, getting clear on what your version of financial freedom is. And I've been thinking about this for myself as well, because I've been thinking, well, last year I went diving in the Red Sea in Egypt. Diving is probably going to be one of the things that I always love to do, and I still get scared when I go diving, but I still love doing it anyway, whether it's with whale sharks or manta rays. I love the feeling of being completely immersed in nature in a way that you probably can't get from any other type of activity. If you're going to go to like a Vipassana retreat, which is like one of these spiritual yoga retreats in India where you switch off and you don't speak to anyone and you're put on a strict diet, that's amazing. It has a place. Maybe you want to go on safari and see animals. That's amazing. That has a place. But diving is so unique because when you're underwater, you're in your own head. You have no one else around you to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing. You're at the complete whim of nature and your own ability to, check on yourself and make sure you have enough air to breathe, quite literally. So it's a fascinating sport. And I think I've taken a lot of those concepts and that ideology and what I learned about diving into my life at large in general. And I've I've set myself a financial freedom goal for next year because I there's some places that I would really love to go. And for those of you that know me, I'm not, as much as I love to go to Europe, I'm the type of person that's my Maverick, hello, Mavericks. But I'm the type of person that's probably going to find like the most remote place on Earth that probably costs like 10 times the amount to get to because you probably need to get like some kind of hovercraft or mini aeroplane to get there, right? But that's what I save up for. That's how I can go a whole 2 years without taking a holiday because I know at the end of it, I'm going to take a massive trip that's going to be months. And it's not just going to be diving, it's going to be a conservation trip. It's going to be a conservation trip in terms of helping rebuild reefs and helping monitor animals and help these local communities in Africa or other places of the world, because I'm really passionate about helping other people, you know, achieve their version of their happiest life. So, all this to say, and I don't even know how long I've been talking for, but all this to say, you will probably get to a point where you feel like, "Ugh, I've been doing this for so long and I just can't do it anymore. Like, I just can't tolerate these arguments that I'm having about money or just hiding money and just not knowing where it is, or coming to the end of the tax year and freaking out because my accountant's like, hey, do you have that 20 grand for your corporation tax? Or going online to Amazon and feeling the need to like buy stuff for validation or self-love or gratitude when you could be doing it in so many other ways and that money could be working for you in such a powerful way that you don't even need to think about going on Amazon and regret spending that money because you know that your money's working for you. And this stuff gets me really passionate and really, yeah, just excited because I've I've seen from the people that I've coached, how that can turn around so, so quickly in ways that you didn't even imagine, right? Like people come to me and they're like, Sarah, I need 30 grand to pay off a tax bill. And we look at a plan to actually repay that debt. How are we going to get there? Create some systems, create some processes, get clarity around the spending, but the reason behind why you're spending, why we do what we do. Why do we do what we do? We don't even know why we do what we do, because most of the time we do it on autopilot, right? Until we get to the point where we're like, what the hell am I doing? I need to stop doing this, stop messing around with my life, right? And that usually comes from some kind of external source, right? And that is because we are reactive. So, perhaps there's a life change, perhaps we go through a divorce, or someone close to us passes away, or something happens in our life that gives us that smack in the face where we're like, crap, life is short. Life is short, guys. Like, from your working life, right? If you think that you work from the age of 18 to, let's say, 60, the majority of your life is work. So by the time you get to 60 or 65 or whenever retirement age is, and the average life expectancy is 85, you have 20 years of maybe your not such healthiest life to actually live out your dreams. And so for me, that's why I'm like, well, I don't necessarily want to take a 2 week holiday a year. I want to go away for a couple of months and enjoy my life now, as well as save for that future. Right. That is financial freedom, where you have security for the future, but the agency and the resources to live out your best life today. So you might get to a point in your life where you're like, I've had enough. Something comes smack in your face. Now, ideally, you know, you would be proactive enough to go, actually, I know I need this change. And so I'm going to step into that and do it. But human nature often tells us that there are external forces at play that often make those decisions for us, which is ultimately the universe going, hey. So for me, I knew that I was always wanting to do more with my life, and I wasn't really enjoying my job, but I didn't have, quite frankly, the balls to quit that job. So I stayed in that job because it was comfortable, because it was secure, because I liked the paycheck, because I liked my colleagues, but I didn't really like the work. And so when it came down to it, the universe was like, hey, Sarah, you know what? We're going to tip you over the edge. We're going to put you on the brink, and then we're going to see what you do about it. Right? We're going to see what you do about it. And the easy option would be, well, I'm just going to go and get another job. And so many people I speak to say that they are at the end of their financial security, at the end of their emergency fund or their buffer. And they think, well, the business side of things, I've had a business coach and it's just not working for me. The business coaching didn't work. The strategies don't really work. So I'm just going to go and take another job. And that is not what I want for you. That is not what I want for you. I want you to feel empowered to live out your best life, because it is totally 100% possible. It is. And I've seen that. And as I said at the very, very beginning of this, February 2023, I was made redundant from a job, which actually, for the first time in my life, I really did enjoy, because when I said I was fired from a job and the easy thing would be to get another job, I did that easy thing, but I did it with intention, knowing what I love to do. But that still wasn't enough. It still wasn't enough, because I still didn't have full agency over my business and what I want to achieve. And now I earn more than I did in that job. So obviously there was a reason why the universe was pushing me in that direction. It's just that I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it from the level that I was at. So it doesn't matter whether you're starting off in business, it doesn't matter whether you're leveling up from 100K to 300K, whether you're leveling up from 800K to multi millions, right? Whatever level you're at, as I always say, new level, new devil. And money, how we do money is how we do everything. It's just that so many people shy away from the money topic because it's greedy, because it's selfish, because it's icky. Even me talking about money now, yeah, there might even be probably people out there who are watching this going, why do you want to make more money? So when you know your why, then it's going to become a lot easier. Now, maybe your why is not to use that money for yourself. Maybe you're an alchemist, my beautiful alchemists, right? The change makers. Maybe it's about giving that money back in some way. And the thing about being grateful for what we have and giving, maybe it's not money, maybe it's like donation, maybe it's like you clean out your cupboard and you find loads of old clothes and you donate them to charity. The thing about giving is that you become a problem solver. You become a problem solver. So when you're in a place of, I need to earn X more or X amount of months, or I need to earn X amount of money and then I will be happy, you are attaching your happiness to a value, to a monetary value, not to your internal worth. And so that external validation isn't going to give you the internal validation you need to regulate your subconscious so that you're actually moving about your life in a way that feels energetically aligned. And look, a lot of you have told me that you love my work because it's spiritual. Everything is spiritual, everything is energy, money is energy. The way that we vibrate, our vibe is short for vibration, right? The way we show up is our vibe. So that's our vibration. So we want to be vibrating up here and not attaching our happiness to the number that's up here, right? The number could be down here, we could be vibrating up here, and that's totally cool because the money will reflect that. Right. So when we come from a place of, I need to earn X amount, we're in a place of scarcity. So it's likely that we're not giving generously. And that includes being generous and kind to ourselves. So when we are generous, when we are kind, we become problem solvers. And that includes being generous and kind to ourselves, investing in ourselves when we know that we need it, even when it feels uncomfortable. And when we come from that place, we come from a place of investing to make ourselves a better place, to make the world a better place. God knows the world needs help right now. People are freaking lost. The world is lost, right? We can see that. COVID was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And now we're seeing the repercussions of that. Okay. Because it's like literally the world imploded in on itself and now it's exploding out from itself, right? We are self-destructing as we speak. But it doesn't have to be the way. It doesn't have to be the way, right? There are things that we can do to help ourselves, to help the people around us, to help the world at large. And so to be expansive, to create abundance, to create true prosperity. What is prosperity? Prosperous when we feel it's not about the money, but we live our life in a way that feels magical and we love waking up. We don't lie in bed having a nap or procrastinate and do the hoovering or go for a walk in the middle of the day. No, we do all that stuff, but that stuff is now fun. And moreover than that, we wake up and we're like, oh, another day. I'm excited to see what's happening for me today. What's going to show up in my inbox? What's going to happen? What opportunity is going to come my way? And when we come from that energy, the opportunities start lining up. Okay. So look, maybe this is an opportunity that you want to lean into today to have a conversation with me, to see, what this could look like for you, what your version of financial freedom could look like for you. As those of you who are on my email list, because this is going to be on YouTube, you may or may not know that I'm now fully booked for December. And I will be reopening my money mapping program in January. So I'm taking bookings now for January. But there are going to be some changes because I've also learnt a lot over the last year. And maybe that's probably a topic for another time. But if you do want to learn more about that, or you haven't yet taken my money personality quiz, then I will leave a link in the description. And look, I came on just to wish you all an amazing New Year, Merry Christmas, and all of that jazz. But really just to reflect on this last year, and I realize I've rambled a little bit about my scuba diving. most recently, I won a Shining Star Award at the Business Women Unlimited event, which is really just a recognition for the success that my clients have got, for my contribution to the community. And I feel so, so proud because if you told me, February 2023, that in almost 2 years' time, your business will be thriving, you'll be helping people achieve financial freedom, they'll be seeing results that you didn't even think were possible. And despite all of your bills going up £1,000 a month, you were able to self-sustain and be financially independent because that's what you're good at. I would have probably laughed in your face, but everything has worked out as it should because, as I said at the very beginning, one of the things that I've learned about myself is I am able to transform my life very, very quickly. And that is because of the mindset, tools, and strategies that I've not only learned through like diplomas and through certifications and qualifications and work experience, but actually from my life at large, from just going, do you know what? I just want to go to Sri Lanka for 3 weeks, right? Like I've done some crazy stuff. I've done some crazy stuff. I went to an island where they had 500 tourists a year, right? So, and I was one of the only two people, tourists on the island at that time. But you just see how other people live their life and how, you know, in the developed world, we chase after the money, we chase after having more, we chase after instant gratification. And, when you're on an island and you have no internet and, you see your chicken running around that you're going to eat for dinner, it just gives you a stock check of like how grateful we should all be to have a roof over our heads, to have people around us that love us, that support us, that want to champion us and be the best that we can be. So be that person for yourself. If you don't have anyone around you that gets you, then be the shining light for yourself. And I think I'm going to leave it there. So, look, if you're interested in having a chat, as always, I'm here. I mostly hang about on LinkedIn these days. I'm Sarah Brill on LinkedIn, as if you didn't know that already. So yeah, come and DM me over there. Come and have a chat with me. I am still out and about on Instagram, but not as much because I've realized that I've done less this year and I've made more, which is mad. It's mad, but it's also amazing, right? It's also freaking amazing because I thought I was going to have to do so much more to keep myself sustainable and achieve my version of success. But actually, I've leaned into myself. I've implemented my own work that I teach more into what I'm doing. And it's just been expansive. And so I just want to take a moment to thank you all in my community for being there, supporting me, collaborating with me, offering me partnership opportunities. Um, working with me and giving yourselves the opportunity. So just thank you. And I want you to thank yourselves if you've watched this video so far for showing up for yourself, for, you know, being in my world, because just by being in my world, it probably means that on some level, you know that you are made for more, and you definitely are. So thank yourself for showing up. And this is my little manta ray. I think in one of my previous videos, I've showed this manta ray before, but I will be swimming this time next year. Actually, maybe not this time next year because the migration of humpback whales is over what is the UK summer. So it might not be this time next year, but there are other things in the pipeline which I'm so, so excited to share with you. But just a side note, things are going to be changing with my programs in the new year. So if you want to get the best, most value for money as it is right now, I am taking bookings for January at the current rates, but they will be changing in the new year, as will the program, because it's going to be bigger and better than it has been these past 2 years. So thank you all for sticking around. Have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you all very soon.